Well, it's the final day of the season. Champions League at stake here for Chelsea, and we're off and running at the Forest ground. It's simple for Chelsea. We have to win. We cannot rely on what's happening at the other games. And speaking of other games, all 10 Premier League games kicking at the same time. We got Manchester United at Aston Villa. I'm keeping a secondary glance at that game. My focus is primarily on Chelsea, where we have to do the job at a tricky away game. Here's Cucurella, Chelsea playing with their back three on the ball. No surprises in the team sheet, really, with Nicholas Jackson, who scored the winner last season at this very ground, not available courtesy of that red card against Newcastle. So it's Pedro Neto as the centre forward today. Got Jadon Sancho on the left, Cole Palmer in the number 10, and Noni Madueke on the right. So a bit of a switch that Enzo Maresca has had to make. Here's Palmer trying to get past Ola Aina, who's got a Chelsea connection, of course. Cobham graduate gives the ball away to Jadon Sancho. Big game for Sancho here. There was reports that he might be heading back to Manchester United. Chelsea cutting short his potential permanent move. That's a problem for the summer. Here's Caicedo to Palmer. Tries to go around the outside. Last touch coming off the defender. I think it is Murillo who had made the challenge on Milinkovic. It's a corner for Chelsea. Bright start here from Chelsea. Have to be front foot here. They cannot let the game go to Nottingham Forest with the crowd in their spot. Chelsea take it short. It's Palmer with the ball into the box. Good defensive header there. Captain Reece James recycles. Here's Caicedo, who's been our player of the season from the first game of the season to now. Rightfully so. All that money spent on, absolutely worth it. Manchester United and Villa 3 minutes into their game. 0-0. I don't know what Manchester United will be going on mentally after losing that Europa League final. So can't really rely on them to get a result against Aston Villa. There's full incentive here. We know that Newcastle probably have the easier ride playing at home against Everton, and Man City traveling away to Fulham. So a lot riding on these games. Here's Gibbs White. Finds Murillo. Well, that back line for Nottingham Forest has been very solid for a long part of the season, and then they just started conceding goals. They're not heading into this game in the best of forms, but really is like a cup final, isn't it? Form goes out the window. The old adage there is the long ball towards Anthony Elanga. What a recruit from Nottingham Forest from Manchester United. £15 million. He's been excellent, man. He's playing in that front two with Chris Wood and Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, of Chelsea colours before on the bench, and he will make an impact. It's just how it's been for Chelsea over the years here. Third season under Clearlake Capital, where the minimum has to be Champions League next season. We have the Club World Cup in the summer, but Champions League has to be priority number one. Maresca did so well to start off the season. Had us in second until December. And then we just went on that run where we couldn't win games. And Chelsea are caught here already. It's Tosin up against Gibbs White. And it's brilliant from James. And it's Elanga, but Cucurella with excellent 1v1 defending. Closing down the angles. Chelsea were caught there, but good defending. Showing real pace there. Reece James very quickly on the cover. Of course, his cross to Cucurella was the difference maker against Manchester United. Dominguez trying to get the ball in, and Colwill with a safety-first approach gets the ball away. Good work there from Reece James. Had to get on the cover, and Gibbs White is quick, man. And Reece James winning it so clean. And Cucurella doing well. Both fullbacks helping out defensively here. That first goal is going to be so crucial, man. It really can define a lot of things. Again, it's Madueke helping out with Cole Palmer defensively. Chelsea now concede the corner. Well, the Forest fans are very much up for it, and rightfully so. Chelsea fans are there just in a quadrant in this ground, but a corner each already. Nearly 5 minutes on the clock here. Chelsea with not much height in their team here. Tosin and Colwill are the two ones really, I would say, with height. That's why Tosin has been picked today to cope against the presence of Chris Wood and the defenders. Elanga with the ball in, doesn't clear the first man. Well, that is so frustrating. It happens with Chelsea all the time, so I can empathize with that. But Elanga's looking very lively early on. No surprises there. Playing as that twin forward, it's going to cause Chelsea a lot of problems. Might go 1v1 here. Chelsea need to start grabbing the hold of the game in that midfield area. Enzo and Caicedo, with one of either Reece James or Cucurella, will be tucking into that midfield area. I was really liking to see that Noni Madueke on that left wing, but Pedro Neto on the right. But now that Neto is having to play a centre forward, that's that false nine. Oh, James getting in a bit of a tussle there off the ball. Well, Anthony Taylor is the referee today. Chelsea cannot take chances here. Elanga delivers on his left foot. Cucurella with very good defending. Sancho looks to clear that away. Here's Aina. Chelsea are pinned here. Aina looking to burst. Cuckoo with good defending. Can't get past Caicedo. It's brilliant from Moises, but he gives the ball away. Ooh, Forrest might be on the attack here. Gives it away, and Caicedo nips in front. Surely a foul, and Taylor gives us the whistle. That's a good sign. That's a good early sign. But Caicedo with 2 quick interceptions, just showing you what a beast he's been for us. And Moises Caicedo, Chelsea's player of the season and Players' Player of the season. Came under a lot of scrutiny last season, but I thought he was top 3 for us. But this season, he's just been head and shoulders every game. You just expect that quality and that consistency from Caicedo. Here's Colwill on the left-hand side. Palmer's operating as that left-hand side number 10, which means that Enzo will start off as that right-sided 10. So might just see Cucurella now early inverting into that midfield area. Here's Tosin. Finds James. Yep, James very much the right-sided centre-half. Might just change. The Chelsea side has been very fluid. It's one of the compliments that I can give Maresca. Here's Enzo Fernandez. He's been very fluid with his movement. Pedro Neto is dropping deep, and Fernandez switches it, but far too much there for Sancho. This is where Chelsea need to be a lot more crisper in the passing. When we get hold of that ball, we haven't really started well, but we have covered the ground well. We have not given, I think, Forrest too much space to operate. Here's Ibrahim Sangare. That is a very good expansive pass onto the left-hand side. On the left-hand side is the Welsh left-back, Nico Williams. Here's Sangare. Again, playing as that number 6 with Nottingham Forest. A very solid, I would say, that triangle for them with Murillo, Milinkovic and Sangare. It's real power. It's going to be a handful for Pedro Neto. He's not going to win anything in the air. So Chelsea have to try and feed him as much as possible into his feet here. He's got an ability to hold off the play, but we'll have to make it as easy as possible to try and feed it in. And you can see Cucurella is picking up Elanga, and look at the pace of Elanga, but Cucurella keeps pace with him. Here's Sangare, who's seeing a lot of the ball early on. Chelsea into their defensive shape. Here's Dominguez. It's a clever ball here. Aina's through and cuts back. It's very well defended, and Colwill had to get there first, and he does. They had us on the back foot there. It's Ola Aina who makes that run past Cucurella. It's a good slip pass there. Very well weighted. Had a chance to just square it across. Well, Colwill had to get there first, and he does. Chelsea have to take a deep breath here. Forest have got their second corner already in the match. I knew it's going to be uncomfortable. Chelsea just have to win it. The performance does not matter, but need to start getting a hold of this game here as Elanga delivers again. Cucurella with yet another defensive header. Williams with the header, and Colwill clears. Can Chelsea break here? Well, Madueke on the right-hand side finds Pedro Neto in his favored position, and Chelsea are really breaking their neck here to get into the box. Sancho for company, so is Fernandez. Here's Jadon Sancho with a pass from Neto. Doesn't have the accuracy on it, but good pace shown there from Pedro Neto on the break. Very much a weapon for Chelsea. That's what Chelsea have done so well. The way that they attack the box. Enzo Fernandez, Jadon Sancho, Cole Palmer, all getting there. The passing accuracy has to be a lot better. Reece James with the captain's armband. So good to see him be fit and available for this, I would say, 15, 20 game stretch. It is a different role for him under Maresca. We don't see him bombing up and down the touchline anymore. Being a lot more conservative, but he is a game changer, man. His passing range from these areas can really open up the defense. First time ball there by Madueke. Madueke has been, I think, our best winger this season. I don't think I'm positive. He's definitely, not just in terms of output, but just that consistency. He's been a real threat. And I think he's just having one of those seasons where next season he just might go for him. It's going to be difficult on that right-hand side because Chelsea have spent big on Estevao, who's coming from Palmeiras now. Whether or not he starts immediately, we'll wait and see. But Madueke, we saw his versatility on that left-hand side towards the end of the season, and Manchester United nearly score there. Amad Diallo on the half volley. He should have found the bottom corner. Let's have a look here as Chelsea attack. Good ball into the box. The header from Rasmus somehow falls into the path. It's Mason Mount's ball into the left-hand side, and Amad on his left foot has to find the bottom corner. Villa get away with that one big time. There's been a couple of chances that Manchester United are flashing across the Aston Villa box. United look up for it. This is good. This is very good. Chelsea need all the help possible here, but have to deal with the business themselves. Elanga's ball in, will not find anyone. But just over 11 minutes on the clock. It's been a hectic start for Chelsea. Not much control in the game. Need to try and take the sting out of the game as much as possible. Keep the ball. Get that midfield involved as much as possible. Not everything has to be vertical, you just keep the ball, invite Forest, and then try and play around them. Manchester United have nothing to play for here, so they might as well have a go and give their fans something to cheer about. But if you look at the possession stat, Chelsea are having very little of the ball. Forest with over 60%. Here's Reece James. Here's Noni. Only allowed to turn. He's looking to drive here, needs to release quicker. Chelsea just need that bit of pace in their play when they're moving the ball forward. Well, no Rashford, of course, for Aston Villa. He's on loan from Manchester United. So Ollie Watkins starting. Feel for Ollie Watkins a bit, being dropped for the last phase of the season after doing so well for Villa. Emery clearly preferring Rashford, so they might just spend the money on them for Manchester United. Might be a very good injection of cash as Noni Madueke does well. Pedro Neto, the first time ball in as Enzo Fernandez flashes that across face the goal. Well, Jadon Sancho doesn't really attack the box, but it was a half-hearted run there. Enzo making that run on the right-hand side, just curling the ball across. No natural striker for Chelsea. We need that run from deep. Ooh, Villa looking to attack here. Can't believe I'm supporting Manchester United for this game here. Support is a very generous word. Here's Elliot Anderson on the left-hand side, finds Williams. It's a fizz pass, which Reece James easily intercepts. Here's Noni. Chelsea defensively looks very solid. That's been the big change from last season. I mean, we don't concede as many shots at our goal, and we really have conceded about 20, 25 goals less than last season. It's been a huge difference. The way that Enzo Maresca sets us up defensively too. He wants those spaces to be narrow, but also be as wide as possible on the touchline. And here's Madueke. Enzo Fernandez making the overlap. Madueke decided to go by himself. It's Noni Madueke, takes an extra touch. Oh, he just loses his balance. Trying to do it by his lonesome there. Here's Jadon Sancho now. Positive from Noni, but might have been better off finding the pass. The way that he just enters the box is effortless. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. 14 minutes on the clock here as Tosin drives in here. Bit clunky, but he loses out. He's out of position, and it's an expansive ball forward as Colwill should be able to deal with it, and he does very well. Ooh, Sanchez's pass is poor. He's trying to clip it to Levi, but doesn't get the accuracy, but it's away from our goal, and I don't mind that whatsoever. Well, Sanchez has had I would say, a very good couple of months. I'm probably jinxing it, but the way that he started off the season, in the middle of the season, where he was just giving things away, really has clamped down on it. This is not the time for that to change. The ball played into the box. Ooh, it's a header, and Sanchez does very well to claim. He is 6'6", so expect that from him as Enzo Fernandez lays it off sideways here, trying to find Noni Madueke. Again, Chelsea looking a little too eager to get the ball front early there. Again, a long ball forward. I understand you're trying to go behind the back line to find the pace of Pedro Neto, but the two centre-halves for Forest really are giants. It's going to take something very special to open them up aerially. Here's Elliot Anderson. Again, Forest had done so well to be, third for till Jan, maybe even Feb. And then that fall off, they would feel was very hard to explain for them, as Colwill reads that very well. Chelsea, again, just happy to be in their shape here, not looking to apply the heavy press. It's a mid-block, not retreating into their box. Onto the left-hand side, the big switch is there, and Cucurella always gets there first. His positioning really is first class. What a season he's had, Marc Cucurella. I mean, the two big money signings that we've made from Brighton for us being the players of our season this season is a bit ironic considering the stick we got for it. But Cucurella, following his exploits at the Euros, just gone from strength to strength. Oh, Sanchez gets there first, reads that well against Chris Wood. Chris Wood makes me nervous, man. He really has a lot of facets to his game that can hurt us in the box. You can see Pedro Neto starting off on that right-hand side and then making that run as that false nine. We don't have that presence forward, so we have to rely on the ball being moved quickly here. You can see Cucurella trying to move around in that midfield area. Here's Tosin. It was such a nervy victory against Manchester United, man. Cucurella scoring that goal. It was a beautiful goal, but man, we made hard work of that game against United, who was struggling at that time, had half an eye on the Europa League final. United lost both, but Chelsea nearly made a hash of it, did well to win that. And because of that, we have, I would say, a destiny in our own hands here. I don't have to rely on others. I'm keeping, and again, I'm not really following the United Villa game. I will see any change of the scoreline. I see that an early sub is being readied for Manchester United. Not really sure. Surely it's got to be an injury there. 18 minutes on the clock here. 17 in the Chelsea game as Pedro Neto now popping up on the left-hand side. He's been versatile here. The Portuguese, again, having to do it all by himself. Then Forrest cleaned that up very nicely. Really good defending. Cleanly done there from Ibrahim Sangare, the Cote d'Ivoire centre midfielder here on the ball. Forrest looking very comfortable here. It's an ominous sign for Chelsea. Here's Dominguez. Finds Murillo. Murillo's ascension into getting a call-up for Brazil is no joke, really, but just shows you what a quality defender he has been. I know Chelsea have had a look at him as a centre-half option on that right-hand side. Plays on the left for Forrest, really, because Milinkovic is more comfortable as a right footer, but there's a needless foul there. Again, Anthony Taylor, the referee, keeps his cards in his pocket there. Colwill has, look at that, he's just tracked Elanga all the way forward. And it's a clear message from Enzo Maresca for either Colwill or Cucurella to go all the way with Anthony Elanga. Not allow him to turn with the ball and then drive into space. His pace is electrifying. The Swedish forward, Elliot Anderson, with the free kick opportunity. Chelsea with a relatively highish line here defending the situation. Nervy, man, fully nervy. Fully expected this, but never dull at the bridge here as the ball floated into the box here to Milinkovic. It's Murillo. Both centre-halves found at the same area, but Murillo is offside. Chelsea again held that line very well. The offside flag going against Eden Heaven in the other game as well. Nuno Espirito Santos, who had that altercation in the stadium with his owner. It drew a bit of flack there, but I saw nothing really wrong for it because that was the game where the Greek owner felt that maybe Forest have let it slip in terms of Champions League in their own grasp. Wanted Nuno to take a bit of accountability there. I see nothing wrong with it, but their ascension into the top half of the Premier League has been absolutely brilliant. As Noni Madueke drives at the ball here, again, his passing is not accurate in the early stages. Sangare turns away with the ball beautifully there for us, Cole Palmer. Big game needed from Palmer, man. If there's ever a time to score a goal, Cole, this one is. And it's Elanga. Again, Colwill keeping a close eye on him. Has to be careful. He's already gotten a warning from Anthony Taylor. Here's Neco Williams. Noni helping out defensively. Chelsea back into their good shape here. Everybody on lock as Elanga on his left foot. Tosin does very well, doing the job that he's very much in the team here for, as yet another offside flag in favour of Chelsea. 20 minutes on the clock here. Forest dominating the ball, but Chelsea limiting their shots as Sanchez had a relatively comfortable game. 0-0 at Old Trafford as well. I think it'll be a good time for me to have a look at what's happening at the Craven Cottage game. City playing against Fulham. I'm sure Newcastle by now would have scored. Yep, City have scored. Damn it. Oh, Palace are leading against Liverpool, the FA Cup winners versus the Premier League winners. Oh, Pedro Neto has done very well there to brush off the challenge. Here's Pedro Neto. Cuts it back. Oh, it's harmlessly into the hands of Sells. Half chance there. 0-0 at St. James's Park. Man City 1-0 up. I knew they would score. That's why I'm not watching that game. And then, no surprise, it's Gundogan delivering the goods at the final game of the season. Chelsea have gotten into decent positions, but again, haven't really troubled Sells. Caicedo misses the challenge. Oh, it's a clumsy one. It's at the back of Morgan Gibbs-White, and he'll be very fortunate to avoid a yellow card. It's his first foul. Caicedo has to be careful here. We know his play style. He goes charging in, gives no space whatsoever. He misses the first challenge and then just feels compelled to kick out there at Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White has been subjected to a huge money move to Manchester City in the summer. It's something to keep an eye on. Saw the news breaking out that Florian Wirtz is going to be joining the champions Liverpool in the summer. It's not a done deal yet, but all signs are pointing to Liverpool acquiring one of Germany's gems in the attacking phase. He really will take them to the next level. Such a quality player. Here's Elanga on the right-hand side. And nobody really putting pressure on him. Chelsea backing up. That's Caicedo who makes it across. Ola Aina. Chelsea again push back here. Not able to take control of the ball. Here's Sangre. I think he's had the most touches so far for a Nottingham Forest player. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. It's a decent ball, and Tosin has won all his aerial duels so far as Anderson pushes it out onto the right-hand side. Here's Elanga again. He's looked bright. It's a ball into the box. It's Tosin again. This time it's a stooping header. Cole Palmer hits it across. Chelsea not looking comfortable. Ola Aina with the header. Oh, Chris Wood gets the header away, and it's a bit of a mess at the back. Chelsea somehow get that away. It's Levi Colwill with yet another interception. It could have been probably claimed, but Colwill was taking no chances there. It's poor from Palmer, man. It's very half-hearted in terms of a clearance. And then just puts Chelsea on the back foot, and yet another corner for us to defend against. Chris Wood is so dangerous. In the air, he just makes things happen. Puts that into an area, just waiting for someone to run onto it. I think Enzo Fernandez is on the deck here. Looked at the bench for Chelsea, and that's the first thing that I do when Chelsea do play as well. Not just the starting 11, but what are the options that we have? We have Tyreek George and Mark Guiu as attacking options, but they are young and, my goodness me, can we rely on them in this big game? Definitely an option off the bench if things get hectic. We definitely have Romeo Lavia as an option at some point to push probably Enzo Fernandez forward. Well, as it stands, Chelsea still in the Champions League. Just have to match Aston Villa's result as Elanga delivers, and it might be a foul there by Ibrahim Sangare on Reece James. He's not going to give us the foul. He's definitely going to make them take it again. You can see Sangare and Reece James really battling it out, both having a bit of a go at each other, but the corner stands. Oh, you can see Ahmad with just having a challenge there on Amadou Onana. The Belgian suffering on the shin there as Elanga's set pieces haven't been on point so far. As this time he delivers good height on it. Brilliant header there. It's Tosin again. Just what we needed. See Milenkovic there, the Serbian centre-half, goes flying in. Tosin wins that header and gets the foul. Takes all the pressure off. Well, Forest have been, I would say, the better side, quote-unquote. 25 minutes on the clock, but haven't really threatened our goal. So for all the good play that Forest have done for Chelsea, haven't really threatened. So have to start making this count here. Have to keep the ball a whole lot better. We can't rely on Forest losing their appetite to press as they won the ball with that appetite. Here's Anderson, lays it across to Morgan Gibbs-White. Cole Palmer helping out defensively. Here's Ola Aina, who's ventured forward a lot in this first half already. Just over 25 minutes plays. Here's Dominguez. Again, he's found that very clever pass to Elanga. Cucurella, who's very well defensively, just loses his balance. Chelsea not able to get out here. Here's Aina. Gibbs-White, again looking to play in that rondo. Chelsea do well again. Forcing that errant pass of the skipper for Nottingham Forest this evening. Well, Villa have had no attempts so far. For a game, it's a must-win game for them. It's been pretty poor for them to go at Old Trafford and really not muster anything. Unai Emery will not be happy. Yes, they'll play Europa League, but that opportunity for Champions League very much there for Emery. Back-to-back years in the Champions League. What a turnaround by Emery. I think one of my first videos of YouTube was a glowing tribute to Unai Emery as to how he just completely changed the trajectory of Aston Villa. Yeah, it was my first video there. Come a long way since, as Jadon Sancho not really getting into the thick of things here. Needs Sancho to be decisive here. He just has to have a decisive game. You know he does well in the approach play. Now he's got the ball here. Looking to just bounce past. It's a clever pass to Cole Palmer. No one really in the box. It's fired across. Well defended there by Forest. Caicedo bounces Gibbs-White off him. Finds Noni Madueke. Chelsea on the attack here. Here's Noni. And Chelsea being patient here. Caicedo finds Tosin. Cucurella, very much a centre midfielder. So is James. Both fullbacks in that midfield area here. On the left-hand side is Cole Palmer now. Here's Colwill. Chelsea having good possession in the Forest third. Here's Caicedo. Madueke, he's got two on him here. This is good defending from Forest. They've covered their spaces very well. Chelsea need to move the ball a whole lot quicker. They are opting to be patient here. Here's Tosin, he's done exactly what we have needed in this match so far. He's dominated aerially. Seen very little of Chris Wood. Well, yeah, all the stats very much in favor of Nottingham Forest. Touches in the opposition box. Doesn't really count for much as Pedro Neto looks to spin Murillo. Oh, he gets the foul. Well, it's rough play according to Anthony Taylor, and we get the whistle again. Anthony Taylor definitely helping out there. Did look like a foul there by Murillo. He's just trying to barge Enzo Fernandez out the way there. Good work there by Enzo to pin the centre half. Looked like Pedro Neto there as Jackson watches on. Of course, ineligible to play not just this game, but this first game of next season too. There's huge speculation that Chelsea will go for a striker. Might spend big. Well, it's 2 seasons of Nicholas Jackson as the Chelsea forward. He's got double digits in both seasons, which is a huge positive considering the curse of the number 9 in the blue jersey. So he has ticked that box. Always wanted a lot more from him, but his link-up and hold-up play really is one of the best I've seen as a centre forward, man. Might be different for him. Might find a home at left wing, but it's a problem for the summer, as I mentioned before, as Reece James delivers the ball into the box. Look who it is, Cucurella, trying to get at the end of it. It's James again, decided to keep it short. Here's Moises Caicedo. Jadon Sancho into the 30th minute here. Still 0-0 the scoreline. Madueke on the left-hand side. Here's Jadon Sancho again. Again, he's teasing the press and trying to play around it. Here's Tosin now. Caicedo looking to ride the challenge of Dominguez. Tosin looking for the line breaker. It's more than that. It's a brilliant pass to Pedro Neto, who brings it under control. Here's Noni Madueke. He's got Cole Palmer on the outside. Palmer first time ball in. It's Pedro Neto. It's just over. Well, that's the clearest opportunity Chelsea have had so far in this first half. It's a brilliant pass by Cole Palmer. Finds Pedro Neto, who's made that perfect run into the box here like a centre forward. It starts off with his touch. after Tosin's pass. And now Chelsea are in business. They've committed bodies once again into the box. It's a brilliant pass by Cole. I think it's on his right foot. Yep, it's inch perfect. It's an awkward angle for Pedro Neto, but has to get that on target. The 30 minutes on the clock. Best chance for Chelsea. Falls to the Portuguese winger. That's better, much better. Well, Palmer has been robbed of a few assists in the past few weeks. He had a couple of them for sure robbed against Manchester United, where Noni Madueke missed both. But if you look at the attempts so far for Chelsea, they're leading that against Forest, but Forest on the attack immediately here. Well defended. Reece James gets yet another interception. Cross comes in. Oh, Sanchez. Happy to see that past his post as Elliot Anderson just looking to shape that into the top corner. Manchester United have a corner here. There's a look to put pressure on Aston Villa. Well, United have turned up apparently. They've had all the attempts so far. Nottingham Forest trying to get one themselves. Ahmad keeps it short, who had the best opportunity with that half volley. Ball into the mixer here. United trying to create a bit of trouble here. Surely now into the box. Oh, they get that away. Casemiro can't divert that on target. Emi Martinez does well. It's a crunching challenge there on Noni Madueke. Surely a yellow card there on Elliot Anderson. And Anthony Taylor obliges. We have the running joke, the running theme of Anthony Taylor against Chelsea. But so far, that's a clear as day yellow card. I mean, not even giving him the credit for it. But he sees that it's such a reckless challenge from the number 8. He's booked now, and Chelsea have to target him in midfield, have to make runs behind him. Manchester United looking to put the pressure on there. It was a heavy foul there on Noni. He's clearly not happy, but the judgment has been passed. He's got the yellow card. Chelsea have to get the free kick going here. It would just be the best possible outcome for Chelsea to take a halftime lead, man. Just calm the nerves in the second half. Well, we knew that this game, it would be hectic, and it is hectic, man. But one good thing that Chelsea have just calmed the home ground here. The home crowd really was up for it before the start of the game, and I think for the first 10 or 15 minutes, they really made noise. Chelsea did well to kill that sound. It's a good switch there by Tosin. It's a brilliant switch, and Noni quickly on his bike there. Good first touch. Moises Caicedo does brilliantly there on the run to control the ball. Here's Enzo, Levi. Chelsea being patient. Here's Cole Palmer now. Again, patience. That's one thing that I've associated with Chelsea so far in this first half. No real panic in their play. Best opportunity has surely fallen for us. Pedro Neto really gave us hope for that Champions League push with that last-minute, last-gasp winner against Fulham. That was an iconic finish, really, on the spin. On his left foot, really did crash into the back of the net. Needs something similar here. Any one of these guys just turn up there. A goal would be massive. Oh, good pass again by Tosin. Just evades Chris Wood. Here's Levi. Tosin again. Again, accurate from Tosin. Good passing. Heavy from Enzo, but finds the captain Reece James. Tried to just rob that ball off Noni Madueke. Here's Sangare. Finds Dominguez. Again, Forest. Again, no panic in their play either. They'll feel that they've more than matched Chelsea in this first half so far. Again, Fernandes just boots the ball clear. I think it's because Reece James is just holding his head. Might have just suffered an arm across him, but it's good to see him. Nothing in terms of a lower body injury for Reece. Need Reece to have that impact. Let's see what it is. Don't know who caught him there. I don't think it was Ilanga who caught him. Might have been Enzo. I think Villa just got their best opportunity in the first half. The ball just flashed across the goal there. Onana looks like he was very much in the thick of things there. Bayender drafted in goal here. It's big speculation that Andre Onana might be subjected to a move in the summer. But the striker and the goalkeeper position for Manchester United are two urgent ones that Ruben Amorim has to fix. Cucurella does brilliantly there, 1v1 defending. Oh, Caicedo does well to nip in, but his pass isn't accurate, and Murillo just drives with the ball. Caicedo goes there first. Reece James comes across and does brilliantly. Reece has been top-notch defensively. Just what I wanted to see. No complaints from the defense so far. Here's Jaden. Finds Cucurella. Well, Emery is looking very tense on the sidelines. I'm sure all the managers who are fighting for that Champions League spot will be nervous as Rob Sanchez's pass is accurate. That's a good sign. Finds Reece. Just under 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half here at the Forest ground. As it stands, Chelsea will remain in 5th. It's good enough for the Champions League, but we cannot rely on Manchester United against Aston Villa. We have to do the job and get all 3 points here. Chelsea looking to take this game as deep as possible. Not conceding that early goal is a very good sign, and having to keep that clean sheet at the halftime whistle will be imperative. And that's something that Enzo Maresca would be urging his team to do that as play continues here. Fernandes finds Cucurella. Has to be on his left foot there. Enzo, surely a foul. Play continues here. Well, Anthony Taylor has let the game flow here. Tosin allowed to turn. Trying to just push Forest back. Chelsea trying to get a bit of a hold of this game here. Passes like that will not help. Colwill gets there first and cleanly. Good defending. Again, had to get that first because Ilanga is rapid. If he had gotten there first, Chelsea would be in all sorts of problems. Safety first approach there from Rob Sanchez. Had to find the pass to Cucurella on his left foot. So once it's on his right, he has to go back. You just know that Sanchez just has to get rid of the ball here. No chances have to be taken as Pedro Neto just voices his concerns there against Anthony Taylor. 0-0 the scoreline here. 0-0 at Old Trafford. Just open the Footmob app and see what's happening at the rest of the games. Of course, all the games kicking off at the same time. Nearly half time at all the games. 0-0 the scoreline at Newcastle versus Everton. No goals in the final day of the season, really. Spurs leading 1-0 against Brighton. Brentford 1-0 against Wolves. It's a Solanke penalty against Brighton. But yeah, man, no goals. Tight tense, but it's just the Champions League, really, that has to be decided. Few places are up for grabs in the, I would say, middle part of the season, but other than that, has been a well, you fully expected, didn't you? I mean, it's Premier League, it's week in, week out, it's just cutthroat, cut and thrust. You see, look at the table as it stands. Chelsea, Newcastle, and Aston Villa all on the same points there. The goal difference between Chelsea and Newcastle, 2. Newcastle in plus 22 and Chelsea at plus 20. So the goal difference very much in our favor. And if we are to win and Newcastle are to drop points, Chelsea in the top 4 then. It's a heavy pass again from Fernandes. Has to be a lot more measured, and Pedro Neto does brilliantly there to hold off the challenge. That is much better there from Enzo finding Pedro Neto here. Here's Noni. Again, trying to be a little bit too rushed against Neco Williams, but it's a throw-in for Chelsea. Chelsea looking to finish off this first half on a stronger note here. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Oh, it's a poor pass on the left-hand side. Here's Elliot Anderson, who's on a yellow card. Well, no shots on target in this match so far. Forest having just the solitary shot, not on target. Chelsea having 2, with Pedro Neto having the best chance of the match. Don't let that shot off target fool you. That was on a plate. Well, not technically because it wasn't an awkward height, but Pedro Neto on his left foot. If he cushions that on target, we're probably looking at 1-0 for Chelsea as Reece James looking to just bully Chris Wood. And Chris Wood gets the foul and the free kick. Reece James looking to be touch tight, which is the right move. He cannot allow Chris Wood to get a free header on it. Don't see what Reece James has done wrong here. He's just got his arm around his arm. So Chris Wood just looking to spin around the Chelsea skipper here. Free kick for Forest. Looking to put the ball into the box here. Taiwo Awani. He's missed the bulk of the season. It's a huge blow for Nuno Espirito Santo not having his number 9 available. What an option off the bench he could have been as Elanga. Oh, Cole Palmer does very well defensively. Noni just trying to push and run here, has to take a little bit more control of it. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Forest ground here. 0-0 the scoreline. Palmer and Madueke have really helped out defensively. Elanga has gotten a lot of the ball, but Cole Palmer defends that shoulder to shoulder, very strong. Haven't seen too much other than that ball across to Neto from Cole, but we know how decisive he is. Nervy for Chelsea, really nervy for Chelsea. Oh, brilliant from Caicedo. Look at that. He wins the ball where he really has no right to win it. Gets across. So strong in the challenge. Here's Palmer, very deep here. Needs to venture forward, which Reece James will duly do so. Here's Noni Madueke. In just a different Noni here in the second part of the first half. In the first part, you just see him just looking to run at him quickly at the defense. Here's Jadon Sancho looking to drive into the box. Dominguez helping out defensively. Cole Palmer and Jadon Sancho getting in each other's way. Doesn't really help whatsoever. Dominguez gets caught here. Brilliant from Palmer again defensively. Cuckoo helps out defensively. Jadon looks to help out. I think the last touch came off Dominguez. Ball for Chelsea. Dominguez has looked very good in midfield. He's caused all sorts of problems for our midfield. He's not allowed that central progression too much there. Nuno going for a compact midfield of Sangare, Elliot Anderson and Dominguez. Maguire getting that ball away from Morgan Rogers, and it's a corner for Aston Villa. Just under 2.5 minutes remain in that game. Still 0-0 the scoreline. Cucurella heading forward. Finds Jadon Sancho. Come on, Sancho. Has to go at the defender. Now he goes down the outside. Ball into the box. Murillo defends. Caicedo looks to mop up. Chris Wood helping out defensively. Good cushion header. Morgan Gibbs wide, being put under relentless pressure, but finds an accurate pass. It's done so well to find Elanga. And now it's Neco Williams down the left-hand side. This is good work from Forest to keep the ball in very trying circumstances. Chelsea once again in their defensive shape. Quickly. Here's Ola Aina. Cross in. It's a brilliant ball, and Chris Wood cannot divert that on target. Oh, Forest have had their best chance, and it's Ola Aina with the ball in. Similar to how Chelsea created their best opportunity. It's fizzed into the right-hand side. One touch out onto his feet. It's a brilliant ball by Ola Aina. Finds his centre forward. Chris Wood having got there first. Sanchez looks to close down the angle. He's done just about enough to throw off the New Zealand centre forward. But that is the closest that Chelsea have come to concede. Nuno knows what a massive chance that was to go into the halftime whistle leading 1-0. Fine margins as Enzo looks to turn. Gets the whistle. Sangare touch tight against the Argentine. Well, two identical chances to the teams here. Pedro Neto and Chris Wood coming the closest for their teams. Here's Cole Palmer now in the opposition territory. Exactly where we want him to be. Breaking his neck to get into the box here. Sancho goes horizontal again with his passing, but vertical with his dribbling. This is brilliant from Sancho. On the left-hand side, again, just takes a couple of touches, which just leads him into no man's land, and he gives the ball away. It's so poor from Sancho, man. And brilliant play there from Sangare. Finds Ola Aina, who's really gotten a second wind of life in this first half. Finds the captain, Morgan Gibbs, wide. Through passes, brilliantly intercepted by Tosin. And finds Cucurella, who gets the ball away. Morgan Gibbs wide, picking up that dangerous pocket of space. Ola Aina has really grown into this game, and if that's the pass which is accurate, you can see Caicedo has picked the run of Elanga, but Elanga is so quick. You just don't want the ball to be anywhere near him in those areas. Chelsea do well again. Stressful. Really, really stressful here. They're showing Dibu Martinez on the screen here. Oh, it's a direct red card for Dibu Martinez. Emiliano Martinez, who might have played his final game for Aston Villa, has gotten a straight red card. And it looks like it's contact on Rasmus Højlund. Well, Martinez gives Chelsea a huge lifeline here. It's a yellow card to Ahmad. Well, just towards the end of the first half here at Old Trafford, Chelsea concede the foul courtesy of Cucurella. Let's have a look here. Where Rasmus Højlund is one-on-one there. Oh, clear foul there by Martinez. He is barged into the Danish centre forward who looks to take the touch. Martinez is in no man's land. He clatters into Højlund. It's definitely a foul. It's 100% a red card. Well. Unai Emery's head must be in space right now. 1 minute of stoppage time remain at the Forest ground. 30 seconds have blown by here as Elliot Anderson feeds that in. Sanchez is favourite and collects. He's done very well, Rob Sanchez. Good goalkeeping from the Spaniard. Awful from the Argentine World Cup winner. He really has let his team down. I know they have a Swedish goalkeeper. Olsen, I think, is their backup. Well, Unai Emery has got a massive halftime team talk here. It's a huge leg up for Manchester United to end their wretched season with all 3 points at Old Trafford. Anthony Taylor has looked at his watch and it's halftime here at the Forest ground. 0-0 the scoreline. It has been nervy. Both teams have created a clear-cut opportunity each. Pedro Neto first for Chelsea after Cole Palmer picked him out. His effort went over the crossbar. Ola Aina towards the end of the first half doing the exact same, finding Chris Wood. But he shinned his effort over the crossbar. It's 0-0 the scoreline here. It's 0-0 at Manchester United with Dibu Martinez picking up a straight red card right at the end of halftime. It's madness right at the end. It's 0-0. It's nervy. It is stressful. Well, Villa have helped up big time here. Chelsea not able to find a route past the back line of Nottingham Forest. No real surprise there. But Forest not heading into this game in the best of forms. Just have a look at some of the scores at the other grounds. West Ham leading 1-0 against the relegated side Ipswich. James Ward-Prowse scoring a goal in the 43rd minute. Crystal Palace really are riding on a high, have beaten Manchester City in the FA Cup final, winning their first trophy in their history. They score a 9th-minute goal by courtesy of Ismail Assar. And Liverpool, let's have a look at the champions lineup who will be awarded the trophy. Well, I'm not going to be watching that, but they've pretty much gone full strength here. Well, it's not pretty much. This is full strength. Apart from Alexis McAllister, everyone you expect to start for Liverpool starting, drawing blank in their title coronation game. Newcastle and Everton, that's still 0-0. How good of job has David Moyes done for Everton since coming on, man? Midway to the season, not going according to plan under Sean Dyche. He really has not just steadied the ship, but as it stands, Everton look to finish in 13th position, 46 points. That is a stellar job from where they were. So you look at the league table. Well, yep, as it stands, Manchester United will finish in 17th, finally cracking the 40-point mark literally in the final game of the season. Wolves will finish in 16th with 41. Them and Tottenham, both on the same points, with Tottenham's superior goal difference, I say, +3 really isn't something to shout about. For Manchester United, -12 the goal difference. Still drawing blanks here, but they'll be expected to win this game now, down to playing against 10 men. Fulham looking to finish in maybe 12th. I fully expect Man City to finish the job there. 1-0 at the break for them. Ilkay Gundogan scoring a goal for them. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Gundogan continues next season, because there's been reports that Reinders from AC Milan is touted to replace, well, not replace, just be that center midfielder that Manchester City need for next season. He's really a top player, the Dutchman. But for Gundogan, once again, delivering the goods in the final day, it really just show you the experience and really what experienced players do. They'll finish 3 points behind Arsenal as it stands. Newcastle will be in 4th, identical with Chelsea. And for Aston Villa, it'll just be goal difference that pretty much denies them Champions League football. It's a huge halftime team talk for Enzo Maresca here. I think he really is a good coach, and I think I've seen a lot of positives from him. I think the biggest mistake that he probably made was in December, where just I don't say that as a mistake because at the time it wasn't a lie, because he just said that Chelsea are not ready to compete for a title, and you don't really believe in coincidences, but during that time, just Chelsea just fell off, man. What is that? A 2 month run where we just couldn't pick up victories. It did steady towards the end, which we find ourselves in this position where that fifth position would be good enough, but should have finished top four, man. We might, if the next 45 minutes go in our favor, but we have left it late. We have left it literally towards the last 45 minutes. It's nervous, it's hectic. It really is stressful supporting Chelsea. And the season it ends here, but the Club World Cup means that Chelsea will be back in action very swiftly. Chelsea and Manchester City representing England in that tournament. It's travel again. It'll be games in that artificial surface. Chelsea have to really beef up their squad here. We know that we've got a lot of quality and young players coming in to the squad there. You know that Andre Santos, who's been the young player of in the French league, Andre Santos for Strasbourg. They didn't make Europe, but that loan period for him. Ironically, he was in Nottingham Forest last season and he could not get a kick under I want to say Chris Wilder. Who was their coach at that time? Steve Cooper, not Chris Wilder. But yeah, man, that was a terrible loan for him. Chelsea got their loan spot on, going to their sister club, Strasbourg, immediately, handling him with care, giving him the reins. He's also worn the captain's armband, as he will be drafted into the squad for sure to beef up our midfield options, because as quality of a player that Romeo Lavia is, we've had to rely on Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo playing week in, week out, 90 minutes non-stop. Yes, they haven't taken part in the Conference League too much, but man, they've put in a lot of mileage. We need to beef up that midfield position. And as I mentioned before, Estevao from Palmeiras coming in with that massive reputation out of Brazil. Yes, he's 17 years old. He's already a part of the Brazilian setup. He's looking to nail down that right-hand side spot. And we know the quality of wingers that Brazil have. They have Vinicius Jr., they got Rafinha. So that wing spot, Rodrigo as well. So they've got plenty of wingers. You can add even Mateus Cunha to that attacking player. So you know that he's coming in with a big reputation. Whether or not he just starts immediately next season, we'll wait and see. I don't see Chelsea parting ways with Enzo Maresca if this doesn't go according to plan and Chelsea don't play Champions League football next season. It just means that, yeah, man, the table does not lie. We've done well for most of the season, but the bad patches were really a bad patch. I mean, it was points that we could have secured. I mean, a defeat against Ipswich and then drawing to Ipswich at home. I mean, needing an 89th minute equalizer courtesy of Jadon Sancho curling one in top corner, giving us a point at Stamford Bridge. I mean, we wouldn't be in this situation if we had just handled some of that business. But here we are at the situation here, still 0-0. Not too much that I can complain about in the defensive situations. But going forward, we knew we would struggle without Nico Jackson. We needed a moment of brilliance by Reece James and Mark Cucurella against Manchester United. United are in fair play to them. They really are helping us out. Emiliano Martinez picking up that straight red card right at the end of the first half, giving us a huge leg up if Chelsea are not able to deliver the goods in terms of picking up all 3 points at the Forest ground. It's a massive 45 minutes for Chelsea. Really is massive. Really has been an incredible season as it is. Looking at Crystal Palace giving the guard of honor to Liverpool, Crystal Palace winning a trophy really is. I mean, I really have a soft corner for Crystal Palace. I would say after Fulham got relegated in the 2010s, Crystal Palace really did have that soft corner. I liked Roy Hodgson and what he built there with the team. And now under Oliver Glasner, I mean, it's not just a glow up, guys. It's a change of fortunes. Oliver Glasner is a serious, serious coach. Crystal Palace have found a gem there. Fair play to Liverpool, man. They gave a guard of honor to Crystal Palace as well. Good to see the champion showing a touch of class. Jurgen Klopp in the stands there. He applauds the guard of honor that Liverpool give Crystal Palace. Yeah, Newcastle, of course. They're also exceeding their expectations this season in the Champions League spot, delivering the goods with their trophy, breaking their 70-year drought, winning the Carabao Cup against the Premier League champions Liverpool. Of course, in the Championship, Sunderland have been promoted into the Premier League next season. Good to see the Stadium of Light hosting Premier League games again. Had some painful memories there as Chelsea fans, some good ones too. Always will remember Eden Hazard's performance there, just announced himself in the Premier League that season as just the best player. As I'm seeing that interview from Joe Bellingham, who will be playing in the Premier League, whether or not he plays for Sunderland, might just cash in on him if somebody makes them an attractive offer. Arsenal cementing their second position, and Declan Rice was their skipper for this evening. Let's have a look at their game. 1-0 against Southampton, who have been relegated, and Kieran Tierney scoring the goal. Martinelli, Merino, Raheem Sterling starting a game. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Ethan Nwaneri, Tierney playing centre half by the looks of it, Benjamin White, Zinchenko and Kivior. Looking at the stats, Chelsea, well, after struggling for possession early in the first half, looked to have just shaded it towards the end, 54-46. It's a bit of a useless stat there. No shots on target from both teams. Both teams creating that identical opportunity in terms of goals. 2 shots, none on target. So looked at some of the chances there. Well, it's a good thing. It really is a good thing that Aston Villa are helping out Chelsea unwittingly. Yep, Robin Olsen will have replaced Marco Asensio as that substitute made by Unai Emery just before the halftime whistle. It's a crazy decision, really, from someone who's so experienced and possibly playing his last game for Villa. We knew that he gave that teary goodbye in their final home game of the season. So to do that, play sweeper, keeper, get nowhere near the ball, clatter into Rasmus Højlund and picking up a straight red, and really has done a lot for that club, but ending in the, I would say, the worst possible manner there, putting all the pressure on 10 men Villa now to get the 3 points against Manchester United, because as it stands, Chelsea will clinch that 5th spot, and that will be sufficient for next season's Champions League here. It really has gone down to the wire here. Final 45 minutes in the Premier League season, where Liverpool have been champions, Crystal Palace, the FA Cup winners, Newcastle, the Carabao Cup winners, and then the Champions League final at the end of the month between Inter Milan and PSG. What a game that would be. Really was going to be a cracker. PSG looking for their first Champions League title under the Qatari ownership. And then Inter trying to put away their heartache in Serie A. They've been pipped for the title, and it was Antonio Conte and Napoli delivering the business 2-0 against Cagliari, and it was Scott McTominay and Romelu Lukaku getting the goal on the final day and wrapping up the season for them. So Inter Milan will have all to play for, knowing that they won't want this season to be trophyless, and the league heartbreak will be forgotten if they can get their hands on the Champions League trophy. We saw Tyreek George for Chelsea warming up. He is an option for us. I would like to see him on the wing coming on at some point. And the obvious change would be Jadon Sancho, he's been very non-threatening for the defense here. You could see he's not really caused too many problems to the Forest defense. I think Ola Aina has definitely got the better of him, because Aina has not just defended well against Sancho, but has also made some very good runs on the outside. He nearly delivered that assist, would have really given Chelsea a headache if they were to go down at the halftime break. And big 45 minutes coming up for Chelsea here. I don't see any obvious changes that Maresca would make. But as I mentioned there, in the 60th minute maybe, that would be the time to just... Well, we would have one eye on the Villa game, but as I mentioned before, the focus has to be on winning the game. Never know. Villa can always score. Very much capable with the firepower that they have going forward. Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins still on the pitch. Very much capable of scoring against Manchester United, who look to be finishing in 17th this season. Just about cracking the 40-point margin in the final game of the season. The Chelsea defensively have a couple of options, but I've been very pleased with the way we have defended. The camera just keeps panning to Tyreek George. Does that mean the Cobham youngster, who's been very much part of the first team? Credit to Enzo Maresca, who has introduced the likes of Tyreek George, Josh Achimpong, has played a huge part. The Conference League has really helped Chelsea in terms of that, having no qualms in terms of drafting a lot of Cobham talent there. And it's 45 minutes, which will be really Champions League or bust for Chelsea. I mean, Europa League will be such a downer considering the outlay that we have put into the Clear Lake project in the last 3 years. We were nowhere in the first season, finishing 12th. In the second season, we could have very easily finished 12th, but that run towards the end, where we won 5 or 6 Premier League games in a row, saw us in 6th position. We could have been playing Europa Leagues this season, but Manchester United winning the FA Cup put us in the Conference League. But fair play to Chelsea, where we find ourselves in the final against Real Betis, and that's a focus for next week. It's 45 minutes for Chelsea to deliver Champions League for next season. That's all to play for here, as Captain Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Levi Colwill, Moises Caicedo, Mark Cucurella, and the likes have entered the fray here. No changes by the looks of it from Chelsea. Enzo Maresca holding his nerve here. Cole Palmer came very close to delivering an assist in the first half after his curled cross into the path of Pedro Neto. Couldn't find the back of the net. Chelsea have to win, and win only will calm the nerves. Well, now my interest at Old Trafford just took an extra few percentage on it, because they've got the 10-man advantage. It's just what we need, man. It's a bit of insurance as Chelsea get into their huddle, where it's just one message, man. Just get that goal. Just have to get the goal. Manchester City are delivering their goods. For Newcastle, a draw works in favour for them as well. They're 0-0 too. All the teams fighting for that 4th spot. Ironically, 0-0 the scoreline in all the grounds there. St James's Park, the Forest Ground, and Old Trafford will see a massive 45 minutes here. It's Champions League opportunity for next season for these teams. Well, the Forest fans have found their voice again here. Anthony Taylor has refed a fair game so far. I really was cursing Chelsea's luck. What are the odds to get Anthony Taylor in our final game? But he's refed a good game, and we're off and running for the start of the second half. And it's Chelsea kicking things off from left to right. Well, what a massive 45 minute it is. And an early goal in the second half really would calm the nerves. Pedro Neto does well to keep the ball. Here's Caicedo, finds Cucurella, but it's a foul there by Enzo Fernandez. He's just gone forcefully there on the Cote d'Ivoire midfielder, Ibrahima Sangare, who's been, I think, Forest's pick of the midfielders in that first half. Elliot Anderson, of course, picked up that yellow card. Dominguez has been a busy customer in the midfield area. Seen that Cucurella has been playing in that auxiliary midfield, tucking in from that left-back role. See just Cole Palmer pressing from the front here. Pedro Neto has gotten the license to operate in those forward areas. Here's Murillo. Caicedo, just magnificent, man. He's so good. Oh, Enzo, that's such a poor pass. It's unacceptable. Enzo Fernandez has just lost his head here and might have conceded a foul. Play goes on here. He might revisit that challenge and give the yellow card to Enzo Fernandez. And after Caicedo has done so well to win the ball, Enzo Fernandez is so casual with it. The Chelsea have the ball in their defensive areas, but Enzo has to do better there. Again, Caicedo just bites into those challenges, gives nothing away. It's just been sensational for us. Again, high balls in the forward area will not help us. Enzo, he's got a bit of a nudge on his back there. Surely a foul. And we get it. Yep, Pedro Neto doing just about enough. Bruno Fernandes on the screen here. A lot of speculation of Bruno Fernandes might be moving to Saudi there. Oh, there's a ball in play to get that back. It is Sancho who made the run. Enzo Fernandez with the first time pick out. Here's Tosin. Rob Olsen playing in goal for Aston Villa in the second half as Cucurella gets the ball forward. Here's Cole Palmer. Good pass on the left-hand side. Here's Jadon Sancho into the box here. Cucurella makes the overlap, but the pass is too heavy. It's the first time really that Jadon Sancho has been positive in terms of attacking the box, but his pass, not good enough. But Cucurella, fair play to him, and he's been all over that midfield area, but on that occasion, making the run into the box, he scored 5 Premier League goals. Well, 5 goals for Chelsea this season. Oh, Pedro Neto has done brilliantly. The two number 7s battle there. Neto does so well to keep the ball. Fernandes with immediate control finds Colwill operating in the central areas. Cucurella finding himself now in the midfield area. Here's Sancho. Has to be a lot more positive. That's what he's trying to do here. Finds Cucurella. 3 minutes into the second half here. Still 0-0 the scoreline. Here's Tosin. Accurate pass onto the right-hand side. Here's Pedro Neto. Neto on his left foot. Curls it towards the far stick. Olaina can defend. Cucu there to the loose ball first. Cucurella driving in. Scored against Fulham at Stamford Bridge from that similar position. Here's Palmer on the overlap. Ball again in. And it's Cole Palmer who looks to find Enzo Fernandez. Well defended by Milenkovic. Chelsea on the front foot in the second half here. Cole Palmer playing as that left-hand side number 10. He's getting into those attacking situations. He's done very well. Noni Madueke yet to get into the second half here. Forest leading the corner count here. And at the same moment, Manchester United having a corner themselves as Fernandes delivers. Maguire with the header. Oh, there's a chance and it's a goal. And it's Rasmus Højlund who's opened the scoring, but surely is offside. Oh, Chelsea just about getting that close there. It's all happening here. And it's Sancho. Colwill! Chelsea score. I think Colwill is onside. Oh, it's brilliant scenes as Chelsea have been rewarded for their positive start. And it's Levi Colwill from unmissable range who gives Chelsea the lead. Well, after Rasmus Højlund nearly scored for Manchester United, he was flagged offside. Colwill wasn't. Well, Chelsea fans rejoice. It's a massive goal. Enzo Maresca must be bursting in celebration within, but he's keeping his calm. Let's have a look here. They've played the corner shot. Palmer lays it off. It was to Caicedo and then Palmer on his left foot. Everybody's on side here. Murillo gets that away. Sancho lays it off. First time pass here. It's brilliant. She's definitely onside. And it's Pedro Neto who missed a chance, who puts this on a plate. Brilliant from the Portuguese. And how he has delivered in this run-in. Pedro Neto coming up clutch for Chelsea. Lays it off. It's the unlikely goal scorer in Levi Colwill. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, and here's Noni Madueke now. Chelsea with renewed optimism here, looking to make it too early here. It's Noni Madueke, cuts it across, Cells clears. Gets a strong palm on it. Chelsea again looking to put on the front foot. Caicedo not looking to make the challenge here. It's end-to-end stuff now. Chelsea caught cold. Here's Elliot Anderson. Anthony Elanga down the left-hand side. 5 minutes into the second half. This game really bursting into action now. Elanga looking to catch him across. It's a good block. And look who it is. It's Moises Caicedo again. Caicedo, in terms of tackling and covering the ground, has been spot on. He's there in the right position again. Well, Manchester United nearly scored. Chelsea score. And as it stands, this is the perfect scenario for Chelsea. Ball played in forward. Pedro Neto peeling into the left-hand side. He has been dynamic in terms of his movement. Chelsea fans rejoice at the away end. Well, they'll have a close eye on what's happening at Old Trafford too. It's going according to plan. The defensive solidity has worked, as I say that, and Elanga has just burst forward there. He gives James the run around here. It's a heavy touch, and Colwill helps out. Well, the goal scorer defends the box very well. Is that Levi Colwill's first Premier League goal of the season? I really have to scratch my head, but I think it is. I look very foolish if that isn't, but I really am trying to scratch my head in terms of goals scored by Levi Colwill as Forest look to attack, and Pedro Neto can come away with the break here. He's got real pace, and he can carry Chelsea forward here. Very patient, Pedro Neto. Oh, he's trying to do it all by his lonesome and nearly finds Enzo Fernandez, who's trying to latch onto it. And look who it is again. It's Moises Caicedo. Finds Cole Palmer. Chelsea looking to boss the territory here. As it stands, Chelsea in fourth. Newcastle still yet to open up. Everton at home. Levi Colwill giving Chelsea the lead after Pedro Neto's effort. What a ball into the box that was. It's not going according to plan for Villa. They're down to 10 men. Manchester United nearly scored through Rasmus Højlund, of all people, really struggling to get his goal-scoring boots, but he was flagged offside, and at the same time, Chelsea got their goal. Here's Palmer on that left-hand side. Last touch coming off the Forest player. Ola Aina looking to defend that situation in the corner for Chelsea, and fair play to Chelsea, man. Having scored the opening goal, they've very much been on the front foot. Well, it was 3-2 at the Forest ground last season where Reece James found Nico Jackson at the fast stick to make it 3-2 at the end. Chelsea don't need an extravagant scoreline. 1-0 will do the trick. As it stands, a draw will help too. You can see Ruben Amorim on the touchline, not happy here. And Pedro Neto ball in. Tosin trying to get his head on it. Forest can clear here, and they do that. It's Anthony Taylor who helps out defensively. Go on, Anthony. It was a fist pass there from Nottingham Forest. Anthony Taylor gets right in middle of that. Well, nearly 10 minutes into the second half. Oh, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi, who Nuno Espirito Santos will turn towards here in the second half. He's got 35 minutes to affect the game here. He's already scored against Chelsea. I saw him curl that one into the bottom corner. Was it last season? It was this very fixture. That was a top goal. It was the trademark Callum Hudson-Odoi goal. Now, it'll be very interesting to see who he comes on for. It will be an attacking substitution. Reece James, brilliant there. He's so strong. Gets there first. His clearance wasn't to a Chelsea player, but does so well there, Reece. Really has been a captain's performance from him. Speaking of captain's performance, Caicedo bites into the challenge. Noni helps out. Well, Noni and Palmer defensively have done so much work. Full credit to them. And look how deep they are making these challenges up against good forward players. 10 minutes into the second half, Levi Colwill's goal separating the two teams here. 1-0 to Chelsea. Matt Sells in goal, the Belgian. has been one of Forest's standout players, I would say. Chelsea looking to go long here, not taking any chances. Had bulk of the ball in the most part of the second half here, forcing Forest to go long. That's a brilliant touch there by Anderson. The two number 8s and the two number 7s in close proximity there, as once again Caicedo is following Gibbs White every step of the way. Here's Elanga looking to turn. Caicedo, oh, it's a nibbly challenge from behind. He gets away with it. It looked like he got away with it, but I think Anthony Taylor's was always going to give a yellow card if he saw that challenge. Yep, it's a foul there by Caicedo. He's gotten a warning on a couple of occasions. Caicedo has to be careful now. Well, I've seen this throughout the season, and I don't want to jinx it, but Moises Caicedo, when he's on a yellow card, plays with a lot more discipline. He has to show that discipline now, as it's a attacking change here made by Nuno Espirito Santo, as Ibrahim Sangare, his afternoon comes to an end, and it's Callum Hudson-Odoi, formerly of Chelsea colours. Chelsea sold him for what, £5 million to Forest, had them in third for most of the season. And what a story it would be for Callum would he be the guy to deny Chelsea Champions League for next season? The script is written perfectly for him, but as it stands, Chelsea in fourth position now. Ball into the box, which we have to defend. Tries to find Chris Wood, who, if he's not offside, has blazed his effort over. It's a shot with no composure whatsoever, but the offside flag spares his blushes. Well, he's been the most threatening player in terms of box presence. He's a yard offside. Chelsea hold their position well. Levi Colwill stepping out quickly there. Forest haven't threatened Rob Sanchez in goal. Ooh, Manchester United coming very, very close to adding the score here. It's Rasmus Højlund again. Villa don't deal with the danger. It's a back header, gets nowhere near. It's Højlund who was up against Matty Cash, shifts it on his right foot, but it's straight at Rob Olsen. No venom, no direction from the Danish centre forward. A goal now for Manchester United would just give us all the breathing room required to finish the job here. Forest will battle till the very end here. Here's Neco Williams. Callum Hudson-Odoi immediately up against Reece James. That is a Cobham battle if I've ever seen one. Two of our own. Here's Milinkovic finding Ola Aina. Forest very much playing with the front three here with Anthony Elanga as the right winger, Chris Wood as the centre forward, and Callum Hudson-Odoi as the left winger. Here's Gibbs White, who's been kept quiet by Moises Caicedo throughout this match. Long may it continue. Here's Dominguez. Cole Palmer helping out defensively. Forest worked this well, and it's Moises Caicedo again with the interception. Brilliant from the Ecuadorian. He has been everywhere for Chelsea. He concedes the corner. Chelsea do well here. Once again, preventing shots on goal. But they have to keep their concentration here. I think it's Anthony Elanga who's been very much on set-piece duty for Nottingham Forest, who will deliver this ball into the box here. Corner in. Sanchez with another great grab. Again, his presence cannot be denied. 6'6", the Spaniard goalkeeper, who's done so well there. Well, into the 60th minute here. 30 minutes for Chelsea to close this game out. A second goal would be the cushion that we thirst for. Here's Jadon Sancho. Talked about that 60th minute substitution, of whether or not Enzo Maresca will make that now that Chelsea are 1-0 up. Because of Jadon Sancho's ability to keep possession would be crucial here, but hasn't given us too much in terms of drives into the box or threat towards goal. But he can keep possession in the final third, and that is something that Chelsea will need. And Cucurella breaking his neck again, trying to get past Milinkovic, and he wins a throw-in for Chelsea. Again, it's been a tireless performance from Cucurella. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. 60 minutes on the clock there as well. Looks like Yuri Tielemans is being introduced for Villa. Here's Cole Palmer. Into the box. Cole Palmer on his left foot. Checks it onto his left. Cole Palmer. It's a deflected effort. It's a comfortable gather for Matt Sells. With 30 minutes remain for Chelsea. Palmer having his first opportunity, and Chelsea making their intentions loud and clear with this substitution, with Romeo Lavia entering the final 30 minutes here to give us all the midfield control that we can thirst for here. Fully expect Chelsea to go with a three-man midfield here. Be very surprised to see who gets withdrawn. Will it be Noni Madueke is my guess. See Pedro Neto. Well, he's done the right thing here. It's not Noni Madueke. He keeps the pace, and it's Jadon Sancho whose evening comes to an end. And is this the last time that we see Jadon Sancho in a Chelsea colours? Because Chelsea do have their option to trigger that $5 million loan fees to send him back to Manchester United next season. But his contribution this season for Chelsea comes to an end, and it's Romeo Lavia. What a good sight it is to see Lavia finish the season after all the injury problems that he had in the early part of the season. Chelsea going with that three in midfield of Enzo, Caicedo and Lavia. Oh, Tosin gets there first, concedes the corner. Again, it's a safety first approach from Chelsea. For Manchester United, Aiden Heaven is on the deck here, and he is coming back after a bad injury. I think it was his ankle or his knee. Well, one of those two. It was a bad injury. I think he suffered that in the Europa League. He's on, and as Forest have got a corner as Anderson goes long, looking for the back header there. Chelsea just about managed to clear courtesy of Tosin. Murillo battles. It's on the volley and it's well blocked. Ola Aina on his left foot slices wide. Well, it's a shot in anger there by the former Chelsea player Ola Aina, who did play a part in the title-winning squad under Antonio Conte in 2016-17. On the volley on his left foot, threatening to score. Well, Aston Villa have made their change. Looks like Manchester United might be forced to make one themselves. Aiden Heaven, bought for £1 million, was it, from Arsenal? He's looked very comfortable as a Manchester United player. One of the, I would say, a shining light in what has been a terrible season. There's no way to sugarcoat that, as Cole Palmer just pushes Murillo to the ground. Manchester United readying a double substitution here. It might be one of sentimentality here, as it's Christian Eriksen and Johnny Evans. And if Manchester United are to be ruthless next season, I think these two players will not feature. But with the tightness in the funds, they might be forced to keep one of them on a relatively cheap contract to just be one of the squad players. But Ruben Amorim giving minutes to Christian Eriksen and Johnny Evans as Callum Hudson-Odoi up against Reece James. No love lost there. Reece James immediately on him. He's done so well, the skipper. He's on Callum Hudson-Odoi immediately there. And Cole Palmer, well, he's on the deck. He's been there throughout the season for us. He's just holding that bottom of his shin here. Well, Chelsea don't need a goal, but Cole Palmer on the pitch always guarantees us that threat, and there's no way that he's coming off here. He will have to soldier on. Fully expect him to start the Conference League final against Real Betis. So it's a busy week for Chelsea. Into the 65th minute here. It's going according to plan here. Manchester United holding off Aston Villa. 10-man Aston Villa. Manchester United not able to score a goal against 10 men. Really is an indictment towards how they have struggled throughout the season to not just win games but score goals. Lavia does well, and Fernandes on the left-hand side finds Noni Madueke, and now bursting forward. Chelsea playing with the front three of Madueke on the left, Pedro Neto on the right. Noni has done well. Oh, he's on the stretch. Does he get the foul in his favor? No, it goes against him as he clatters against Dominguez. Well, Noni's had the ball here. He's lost control. He has to try and find Pedro Neto early on. It's 1-1 at St. Mary's. It looks like Stewart has scored for Southampton. Arsenal might end the season on the draw. Ooh, Liverpool are not just down to 10. I mean, not just losing the game, but they're down to 10. Ryan Gravenberch has picked up a straight red card. Well, looks like a second yellow. It looks like the champions Liverpool are ending their season after being crowned champions in pretty poor fashion. I mean, they won't mind because all eyes will be on the trophy lift, but Chelsea beat them
Brighton beat them, and now Crystal Palace, after their heroics in the FA Cup, now looking to end their season with all 3 points here. Chelsea making the substitution after the goal, Romeo Lavia being introduced for midfield solidity, him replacing Jadon Sancho. Might just show that Chelsea might be a lot more measured with the ball here. Man City still lead at Craven Cottage. Ilkay Gundogan still the difference maker. Well, that result as it stands will confirm their spot in, I think they will be third. Well, Arsenal's draw as it stands doesn't really help. I mean, it does secure them the second spot, but it just means that Man City as it stands will just be a point behind second place Arsenal. And City, after going through everything that they have recovered very well. They will be disappointed. I mean, losing back-to-back FA Cup finals is a stain, but they have recovered well right towards the end. Well, Nottingham Forest, as it stands, in 7th. Newcastle will fall to 6th. Well, Aston Villa will be in 5th position. So, well, all to play for here. Well, Chelsea fans rejoice. Ooh, Everton have scored, and it's Alcaraz who scored in the 65th minute. Well, this is going as perfect as possible for Chelsea. Newcastle, well, I completely expected them to do the business at home against Everton. I had all my money on them, and as it stands, it looks like they will drop off. Well, Aston Villa have an opportunity here as Dominguez gets carried away. He is wobbling off the pitch, and I don't think he will be okay to continue as Ryan Yates is being introduced for Nottingham Forest. Chelsea is just slowing down the clock here. Well. For all the highs that Newcastle have faced this season, ending their 70-year trophy drought after their win against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final, now find themselves having to do it all in the last 20 minutes at home against David Moyes' Everton. And David Moyes and Everton, my goodness me, it's not just been a recovery, it's been a stellar job from the Scotsman. They were in the relegation threat and now finding themselves in 13th position as it stands. Unai Emery knows that there's an opportunity here where his team don't have to win. A draw now, but that really does depend on the scoreline at St. James's Park, but it is a lifeline to Unai Emery and Aston Villa here. Manchester United really are doing their part in terms of making it as difficult as possible for Villa, looking to end their season on a modicum of positivity or optimism, but there really is nothing to be positive or optimistic about at Old Trafford. As the ball played forward, Tosin gets the first header, Enzo the second. Chelsea can keep the ball here. Here's the match winner as it stands, Levi Colwill, looking for an expansive pass. Chelsea don't really need to do this in terms of the quick counterattacks here. Just keep the ball and keep the shape here. 3 points very much in our grasp here on the right-hand side. Here's Ola Aina looking to burst forward. Ball into the box and easily into the hands of Rob Sanchez. United on the attack here. Here's Christian Eriksen. Ooh, looks for the shot. I think getting a last touch on it was Bruno Fernandes. Into the 70th minute in both grounds. It has gone according to plan here so far for Chelsea, but a lot can go wrong in the final 20. It's all about game management and trying to get that second goal. Here's Matt Sells, who hasn't been troubled too much in the second half. Looks like Cole Palmer is playing as the false 9 after that change was made. 3 in midfield. Just gives us that solidity of Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo, allowing Enzo Fernandez to be box-to-box. Pedro Neto on his right-hand side and Noni Madueke on the left. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi looking to run at our midfield here. Here's Caicedo. Looks to get the touch, and he does. Caicedo slows the challenge brilliantly there. It was good play from Neco Williams trying to go on the outside of the Ecuadorian. He shows him the line, but how quickly Caicedo gets there really does blow my mind the way he plays football. Outstanding. Again, a ball into the channel. Levi Colwill, happy to see that out of play. And out for a goal kick here. Just over 70 minutes on the clock here. Villa yet to score. Newcastle have to score. Chelsea in pole position to end the season in 4th. Nuno Espirito Santos, having seen his team in 3rd position for most of the season, might just have to contend with a 7th place finish. Murillo's done well to nick the ball off Enzo Fernandez. Hasn't been a good Enzo Fernandez performance, really. It's been average to say the very least. Just need him to be solid here and just keep that composure in the midfield areas. Here's Milinkovic. Again, the feed forward to Hudson-Odoi in the central areas. Again, the ball into the box towards, and Sanchez claims again. Well, it's been a dominant performance from Rob Sanchez. Elliot Anderson was looking to just get at the end of it. Just feeds that towards the far stick. It's well defended there. Chris Wood, obviously the main target. Elliot Anderson doesn't get that. Romeo Lavia gets the foul against him. And Chelsea can once again just build here. No real shots against the Chelsea goal, but Rob Sanchez has to be very alert throughout this match. He's had a few high claims and recoveries. He's done very well to ease the nerves in those high deliveries because, as we mentioned before, not much height in the Chelsea team. Tosin and Levi are 6 foot plus, but other than that, there's Reece James, maybe 5'10". That's just semantics. But you look at the second half attempts, 3 each for Forest and Chelsea. Chelsea getting the all-important goal courtesy of Levi Colwill from that short corner. It was Cole Palmer who found Pedro Neto, plays the ball across goal perfectly into the path of Levi Colwill, who was unmarked and scored from an unmissable range. Pedro Neto with huge contributions towards the end of the season. I, for one, was losing faith in Pedro Neto, really, towards that season where Chelsea were really struggling to pick up points, but really has come up big. That goal against Fulham in stoppage time really gave us that belief that Champions League was in our grasps. And then that assist against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, where Enzo Fernandez scored in the 3rd minute. And now, when Chelsea had to win, coming up trumps with that effort. Across goal to Levi Colwill here. You can see Enzo Maresco just urging for calm. Again, the clearance straight to Enzo Fernandez, having to battle the Forest captain there. Ryan Yates taking the captain's armband off Morgan Gibbs-White, who's had very little influence on the attacking phase in the game. And that's a huge credit to Moises Caicedo. The way that he has marshaled the Forest number 10 has been spectacular. Well, there's a VAR check at Old Trafford here. Just wondering what the reason is. Villa are already down to 10. They cannot afford another red card here. There's a huge melee with the referee. He's picked his head up and he's given a yellow card. Is that a second yellow for Villa? If that is, it pretty much finishes their game off as Chelsea look to venture forward through Cole Palmer. Cucurella wins the ball but gives the foul. The referee has his hands in the pocket still, the yellow card. Not back in the pocket, still in the hands of the referee here. Unai Emery is furious on the touchline. Well, both games in similar time here. Hudson-Odoi getting space to open his legs here and really run at the Chelsea defense. He looks to just fade that in. It's another great interception which allows Cucurella to just cushion the header to Noni. That's a good pass to Cole, but he's under real pressure there. It's a bit unnecessary from Noni to try and fizz that towards Cole Palmer, who's playing as the false 9. Well, Aston Villa trying to gain a bit of composure in their game here. You can see the ball forward. Wasn't dealt with by the centre half. Now, Watkins or Rogers, either one of them have the full real opportunity. I don't think he's done too much wrong. I think he's got there first. I think they're getting hard done there by as Morgan Gibbs-White holds his lower back. It's a rough challenge. It's definitely a stiff landing for the number 10. Let's have a look here. Gibbs-White, again, having to chase aerially. I don't think there was too much wrong with what Colwill has done. He's just led with both arms. It's a bit of contact on Gibbs-White. It's a free kick in a dangerous position here against Chelsea. It's far out for a direct shot, but a clip ball towards one of the centre halves of Chris Wood could really put Forest in business here. Under 15 minutes plus stoppage time here for Chelsea to get the business done and play Champions League football next season and end the season on a high. It's been a season of ups and downs. We've seen a lot of movement. The season could have very easily finished in Chelsea, ending maybe 6th or 7th even at some point. But now we find ourselves in 4th with the results elsewhere going in our favor. But we still have to focus on the job in hand here. Anthony Elanga was taking pretty much all the set pieces for Forest. Elanga strikes, it's on goal. And Sanchez, right down the breadbasket, he concedes and Manchester United have scored. It's Amad Diallo who gets the goal, and Unai Emery just sinks his head down. He knows that's a massive goal to concede. Well, Chelsea get Malo Gusto ready to come on the pitch here. Let's have a look as to how Manchester United got their goal. It's Amad Diallo, who's been one of their rare shining lights in what has been a terrible season for them. Let's have a look here. Fernandes with the pick out. It's a brilliant pass from the skipper, who finds Amad Diallo with the header. The cushion header is perfectly into the bottom corner, where it's a special goal. Bruno Fernandes with the no-look ball in. Ian Maatsen gets caught out, and Manchester United take advantage of the men here, and Forest can't capitalize. It's Ola Aina who's made his way into the Chelsea box. He's outstretched as he looks to deliver that ball in. It's nowhere near to trouble Chelsea. Well, what a few minutes it has been in the Premier League here. Aston Villa very easily could have been 1-1 here. I think Binder has made a howler, but that VAR decision went against them. And minutes after that, Manchester United opened the scoring. It's a double whammy for Aston Villa as Amad Diallo scores. Malo Gusto's on the pitch for Chelsea as game management once again the main focus for Enzo Maresca. Well, it's all happening in the Premier League. Manchester United have scored. Everton have scored. Have they continued to keep the clean sheet there? Just have a look. Yep, still 1-0 in favor of Everton at St. James's Park. As it stands, the table looking favorable for Chelsea in 4th position. They will be in 4th with 69 points, 2 points behind 3rd place. Manchester City are still 1-0 up, courtesy of Ilkay Gundogan. Look at Caicedo again, man. Brilliant. Surely a foul on him. Taylor waves play on. Oh, it hits Cucurella. Chelsea have to be careful. And Chelsea just about get rid of the ball there. Surely a foul. Forest are asking for a handball here. Well, it should have been a foul. Well, a couple of yellow cards have been brandished by Anthony Taylor. I think Tosin might have gotten a yellow card. Surely a foul there on Moises Caicedo. Cucurella feels that he got barged over. It's all happening here. Well, Anthony Taylor has still got his yellow card in his hand. Cannot afford a red. Is this towards Caicedo? If Caicedo gets a yellow, we will be down to 10. Oh, you can see there Caicedo and Gibbs White. Caicedo commits the foul. I don't see how that's a yellow card challenge. You can see there, oh, Cucurella. Well, he's cleared the ball, and you can see Ola Aina just charges into him. A couple of yellow cards have been brandished. You can see Cucurella was writhing around in pain, but Chelsea, well, the first remit has to be to end the game with 11 men. Cannot end the last 10 minutes, regardless of what the results are happening elsewhere. Aston Villa are losing their collective heads here. It's a yellow card in that game too. It looks like Ollie Watkins has picked up, and the game resumes here. You can see there Morgan Rogers making the foul as we're into the final 10 minutes at the Forest ground. Chelsea 10 minutes plus stoppage time away from clinching the 4th spot in the run-in. Well, Nuno is bringing on It is Jota, but it's pronounced as Jota, if I'm not mistaken. The Portuguese forward likes to operate down the right-hand side. I don't see how Chris Wood will not be completing the 90 minutes. His presence is vital for them. And Manchester United making their change. Chido Obi coming on for Rasmus Højlund, who once again blanks for Manchester United. He scored, 4 goals this season? That's poor, man. That's so poor from a £70 million striker. Here's Malo Gusto, immediately involved. He's very secure with the ball. Malo Gusto just getting more and more technicians on the pitch here, Chelsea, sacrificing a bit of height. Looks like Christian Eriksen looks to end the game here, and the pass is found Noni Madueke down the left-hand side. Should find Cucurella instead. Looks to cut in on his right foot. Cole Palmer, again, he's found him in a very tight angle. Caicedo thought about the shot. Finds Gusto. Enzo Fernandez is on the overlap. It's fizzed into the box, and it's easily cleared by Olaena. Oh, it's brilliant from Tosin. He had to get there first, and he does. And Caicedo hooks that clear. Well, Tosin has won all his duels, and he's done so in real dominant fashion here. Cucurella, the ball has been played behind him. Well, 2-on-1 for Anthony Elanga. Nowhere to go for the Swedish winger, and he does brilliantly there, Levi Colwill. And the pass by Cucurella is accurate. Finds Cole Palmer. Chelsea managing this game very well. Job nearly finished for them. Here's Cole Palmer trying to outpace Milenkovic. The Serbian defender does well. Sells forced to go long. Chelsea, brilliantly, Reece James. That chest control really is a thing of beauty. Finds Enzo Fernandez, who shows good chest control himself, but can't bring the ball under control. So throw in for Nottingham Forest. Chelsea have made 2 changes. Romeo Lavia and Malo Gusto coming on for Chelsea to see this game out, as Jota will come on. And I think it's Olaena who will come off for Nottingham Forest. Another attacking substitution for Nottingham Forest, bringing on an attacker for the right back. Ooh, Manchester United nearly scoring the second. It is Christian Eriksen on his left foot, nearly finding the top corner. But it's so relaxed the way he plays. It just shifts it on his left foot, and he's caught that so well. Oh, he's hit the crossbar right in the postage stamp. Aston Villa get away with that one. It's a double substitution for them, as Ross Barkley and Donian Marlin are coming on for Aston Villa, as it's the final roll of the dice for Unai Emery. As it stands, they will be out. Well, they're 5th now. I just have to look at the table again because of the Newcastle defeat. As it stands, as Noni can't keep the ball under duress. Ball floated forward. Man City are very much handling their business. 2-0 at Craven Cottage after Erling Haaland scored from the spot. Still 1-0 against Newcastle at St. James's Park. Chelsea defend well. Again, to just limit Forest at home to very little opportunities towards goal has really been one of the highlights for Chelsea. Liverpool have equalized courtesy of Mo Salah. He ends his season with yet another goal to cap off what has been a remarkable season for the Egyptian king. Here's Malo Gusto again, shields the ball superbly, the young French fullback. Lavia helps in the ball security aspect. Here's Caicedo. He has been the man of the match for me again. No surprises. Every time Chelsea play, he just is that presence. Martin Odegaard has scored for Arsenal. Arsenal solidifying their second spot, looking to end their season with a victory. Milinkovic just running ball heavy there on the slight challenge, wins the ball. Here's Noni now on his left foot. They're just trying to dance his way past the challenges. Yep, as it stands, Newcastle, even though they are losing at home, Villa doing the same away from home helps them. And it will be Aston Villa who finished 6th. Chelsea. Well, surely that's not a foul. Come on, Anthony Taylor. He's blown the whistle against Reece James. Well, it's a free kick against Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez delaying it as much as possible. Unai Emery is literally seated down here. He cannot bear to watch. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Forest ground. 5 minutes remain at Old Trafford. Here's Gibbs wide. floats it into the box. Chris Wood waiting for scraps, but gets nothing from it. And the offside flag has been raised. Well, Chelsea's line has been superb whenever Nottingham Forest have delivered those clip balls into the box. Where Forest are looking at their Champions League hopes evaporate here. Villa, well, I thought they had one of the easiest tasks here. If they could have beaten struggling Manchester United away from home, yes, but the task was compounded by Emi Martinez picking up a straight red card right before the halftime whistle. This made it a mountain of a task as Kieran Dewsbury-Hall comes on for the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time for Chelsea as Noni Madueke's Premier League season comes to an end. Well, Madueke having a positive game, I would say, but really struggling in terms of the final output, but really did put in a shift, I would say. Well, I'm looking at the game at Manchester United, and United have a penalty here, and it's Christian Eriksen who from the spot can double Manchester United's lead here. The two substitutes up against each other. It's Christian Eriksen up against Rob Olsen. Denmark versus Sweden. Well, Manchester United looking to end their season on a high here. After Amad Diallo gave them the lead, it's Christian Eriksen from the spot. It's Eriksen, and he buries the penalty. 2-0 to Manchester United. And Aston Villa finding themselves in all sorts of trouble now. Reece James defends brilliantly here, but the last touch comes off the skipper. It's a corner for Nottingham Forest as Gibbs White looks to have just won it at the right time. Frantic stuff here as the Villa fans exit Old Trafford. The final day of the season ends in despair to Unai Emery and Aston Villa. They've had a good campaign in the Champions League. They've made a run right towards the end to try and finish in the top 5 as Anthony Elanga delivers into the box. The header is cleared away by Cucurella. The referee still hasn't blown the whistle and on the charge. And it's a massive chance here for Murillo. And Cucurella gets there. Last challenge in. And Sanchez pouches. Well, Chelsea just about do their job here. It was a real melee in the box there. It looks like the skipper, Ryan Yates, might have got the chance. It's a free header from Milinkovic. Chelsea doing just enough. Oh, it's a Forest player who comes into the path of the challenge. Well, Chelsea do just about enough. Nuno Espirito Santos watches along helplessly. He's made his moves in terms of substitutions. 1-0 the scoreline here for Chelsea as Enzo Fernandez chases down a lost cause here. Forest in 7th. Villa in 6th. Newcastle in 5th. Chelsea in 4th. What a massive season this is. And this could be for Enzo Maresca and Chelsea as look at Caicedo once again nipping into the challenge. Under 90 remaining in the 90 minutes. Palmer, Lavia. Can he find Dewsbury-Hall? It's Lavia! And it's a chance that goes begging for Chelsea. Romeo Lavia shifts it onto his weaker left foot. And what a way that would be to seal the points for Chelsea. Romeo Lavia, not known for his goal-scoring prowess, being the number 6 for Chelsea. But the last touch comes off a Forest player as we're into the final minute of normal time here. It's a great strike there from Romeo Lavia. On his left foot, just takes a nick off the defender as the Chelsea players in close attendance with the Chelsea fans were celebrating at the away end. And what a massive 30 seconds plus stoppage time this is for Chelsea's season. Reece James gets the final touch off Callum Hudson-Odoi. Massive opportunity here for Chelsea to end the season on a high with Conference League final duties next week. But it's Champions League opportunity next season for Chelsea. It's a long ball forward that Tosin once again cleans up. 10 seconds plus stoppage time remain here for Chelsea. Forest have tried their very best to throw everything at us. They haven't succeeded. We have limited the shots. Could have put the game to bed, but haven't really created too many chances ourselves as we're into stoppage time. And it's 8 minutes of stoppage time added on here. 8 minutes. Taking the piss, man. That is far too much. Here's Murillo with the ball in, and it's into no man's land. And Chelsea handled the first attack into stoppage time here. Levi Colwill in the 50th minute, giving Chelsea their lone goal here in the hopes of securing Champions League football. Manchester United 2-0 to the good at Old Trafford against 10 men Aston Villa, who Spurs are getting battered 4-1 at home, by the way, by Brighton, who Fabian Hurstler is looking to finish his season on a high year. Absolutely ridiculous end to the season here as Palmer, who's played false nine since the changes have been made. Tosin getting there first brilliantly again. Well, Spurs, as it stands, will finish 17th and they will play Champions League next season. Such has been the riches of the Europa League. Manchester United will not just crack in that 40-point mark, but they'll end their campaign as it stands in 15th position. They have been 16th for most of the season. It is an improvement for them. Here's Malo Gusto, who's been technically secure with the ball, but as I say that, he gives away possession, and Dewsbury Hall does well, and Gusto does brilliantly to win the ball back. What a pass that is from Moises Caicedo to find Cole Palmer. Doesn't take care of the ball, but it falls to Malo Gusto, who just lets the ball run away for a throw in here. Well, 6 minutes plus stoppage time remain here. Chelsea all but there. Newcastle might be ending their season in defeat. It's full time at Anfield, and that game has ended 1-1 for the champions in the day of their trophy lift. West Ham, for all the troubles that they've had this season, ended with a 3-1 victory by the looks of it against relegated Ipswich. Manchester City 2-0 to the good against Fulham at Craven Cottage, and Bournemouth 2-0 against relegated Leicester. So the goals have started to trickle in the final day of the Premier League season. It was very quiet at halftime, wasn't it? Real lack of goals, but that really has changed. 5 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's 1-1. It has ended at the Wolves game up against Brentford. Oh, there's a shot there. And the last touch coming off Colwill, who's made some heroic blocks. Well, the Forest fans are urging their team forward to try and get the equalizer here. It's Anthony Elanga yet again. Chelsea 5 minutes of stoppage time away from completing the season's objective here. Elanga takes it short. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Thought about the shot, and now the clip pass on his left foot. It's a brilliant defensive header. It's a combination of two Chelsea players get the ball away, and it's Enzo Fernandez, whose tireless running has been brilliant there, chasing down a lost cause. Well, Forest looking to throw the kitchen sink at Chelsea now. Here's Matt Sells. Looking to put the ball into the box here. He's put it into the mixer here. It's Chris Wood who gets there first. Chris Wood blazes over. And that's the best chance that Forest have gotten. 5 minutes into the stoppage time whistle. Chelsea nearly concede at the end. What a ball this is from the goalkeeper. From back to front. Chris Wood is miles onside. He has broken the offside trap. The first touch is good, but he is off balance, leaning back. Well, Tosin does just about enough to throw him off, and he doesn't get a clear shot. Well, that would have been absolute heartbreak for Chelsea in terms of conceding a goal right at the end. It wouldn't have done much in terms of the grander scheme of things, but Chelsea nearly, after doing all that defensive work, it's been Chris Wood with 2 brilliant opportunities in the match. First one in the first half, and this one right at the end. Chelsea survive. Incredible scenes here at the Forest ground. The Aston Villa game also having 8 minutes of stoppage time here. United have all but sealed their 3 points. 2-0 to the good after Amad Diallo scored in the 76th minute and Christian Eriksen scoring that 87th minute penalty with real composure, as it was probably his farewell match after his 3 seasons at Manchester United. Here's Murillo. Just feeds that into the mixer, making it as dangerous as possible. Here's Ryan Yates, the second half substitution. The captain looks to put the ball into the box, gets that past Cucurella, and it's Tosin again. Well, the number of headed clearances that Tosin has made in this match has been countless. Well, the defense have held firm just about. Under 3 minutes remain for Nottingham Forest to try and get the equalizer here. Throw in into the box. Sanchez comes and Sanchez claims. Brilliant. He hasn't put a foot wrong here. His handling has been top-notch. And Robert Sanchez is ending the season well. Yet another clean sheet for Chelsea as it stands. Well, Chelsea are 2 minutes away. The front sponsor looks very good for Chelsea, I must say. I think we got it for the last 5 games of the season. The Dubai-based company Damak. And they'll be there for Chelsea. They'll be front and center for Chelsea getting Champions League football and possibly winning the Conference League too. So that's good marketing for them. Chelsea have to do the job thereafter, delivering the goods here. We needed to win against Manchester United. That was 1-0. We had to win today. And as it stands, it's 1-0. Chelsea doing the job with the clean sheet. It's a performance that prime Jose Mourinho would be proud about as Romeo Lavia comes away with the ball, doing exactly what he was sent on the pitch to do here. Lavia on the stretch. Doesn't keep possession here. Well, final minute of stoppage time here at Old Trafford. It looks like Aston Villa will finish the season in 6th position. Can't do the job to get into the Champions League, but they will play Europa League along with Crystal Palace for winning the FA Cup. And Forest are in the box here. Ball faced across goal, and Dewsbury Hall on the stretch just about clears the danger. Chelsea having to do it all at the end here defensively. Forest throwing the sink at us. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi towards the far stick. Chelsea outnumbered, but Gibbs White having to fetch, and it's a ball into the box. Chelsea happy to see that go away. Surely not taking a touch off us. Gibbs White with a sliced ball in. Well, Reece James looked to have cleared there. Milinkovic helps it forward. And now that Elliot Anderson is into the box, Chelsea were in real danger there. And it looks like Rob Sanchez got an important touch. And Dewsbury Hall on the stretch clears the danger. Ooh, nearly hit Tosin on the arm. And it was Sanchez's brilliant touch there. And it just gets away from Jota and Dewsbury Hall. Well, what a second half substitution that was from Maresca. Forest were urging for some sort of decision in their favor, but 8 minutes of stoppage time has been played at the Forest ground. It's full time at the Manchester United game here, 2-0 there, and Enzo Maresca knows that it's job done for him and Chelsea. Anthony Taylor has had a look at his watch. He's kept the game fair and fair play to them. Well, Chelsea have done the job and it's full time at the Forest ground, and Chelsea finished the season with a 1-0 victory. Enzo Maresca blows kisses to the Chelsea fans, and look at the celebrations here as Chelsea clinch Champions League for next season. They end their season in 4th position with 69 points with a plus 21 goal difference. Well, the celebrations might be a bit excessive, but it's a massive moment for Chelsea. We really had to secure Champions League football for next season. And what a job Enzo Maresca has done. The defensive solidity, a huge part of why Chelsea are where they are. The table does not lie. Look at the celebrations from the Chelsea players as they rush to the away end and celebrate with the Chelsea fans. Newcastle United end their campaign in 5th position, and it's Levi Colwill's 50th minute winner, which edges Chelsea past Nottingham Forest. It's full time across all the games in the Premier League. Bournemouth ending their campaign with a 2-0 victory. City in 3rd with 2-0. West Ham 3-1 against Ipswich. Liverpool winning their campaign, ending their season as champions with a draw against FA Cup winners Crystal Palace. Newcastle with a surprise defeat at home to Everton. Chelsea doing the business at the Forest ground. Arsenal finished their campaign trophyless, but with a victory 2-1 at the St. Mary's. Brighton put in a 4-star showing against the Europa League winners, 4-1 for them against Tottenham Hotspur. who won't care, but they have finished 17th in a wild season for them. And it's full time here at the Forest Ground as Chelsea secure Champions League football. It was a tide. It was a tense encounter. And we had to go right till the very end. Full time here at the Forest Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1.